Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about the recent announcements that Microsoft has been making around project management and their task management applications. So let's break it down. The first thing, some context, right? There was a renaming fiasco. So Microsoft has two separate products, Planner and Project. Project for the web was a completely separate application hosted on Microsoft Data, was the same platform that hosts their Dynamics, CRM applications, etc. And they had Planner, which was hosted in Azure somewhere, and that was obfuscated by, to the users. The database access wasn't available. We could not see the tables, etc. So Planner was for more simplistic use cases where you did not have task dependencies and you did not need Gantt charts, etc. It was just a tool to track tasks independent of each other. And Planner had some dependencies, etc. So there were two separate products. Planner had some functionality that wasn't available in Project because they are two separate products, right? So there will be always some features um, in Planner that were not available to Project. Now, Microsoft wanted to, market the because Planner was included as part of the Microsoft license, 365 license, whereas Project required you to purchase an add-on license as the more advanced tool. So to try and sell Project more, Microsoft changed the naming from Project to Planner Premium, and then they tried to sell it as an upgrade. And they did not like explain that it was a separate product. They just sold it as an upgrade of their, upgraded license type to their current plan. Now, when they did that, they got a lot of backlash from the users of Planner because they found features missing because they just, were manipulated into migrating to a completely separate product, so to speak. So, users said, hey, we have XYZ features in Planner, but we don't have that in Planner Premium. Am I losing functionality by upgrading and paying you more money? So that had a negative impact to Microsoft. So that's one step. That's something to know here to understand what's going on. So the next thing that's happened is uh, Project had three, under the Project brand as well, Microsoft had three different products. One is called Project Server, which you have to like install on physical hardware that you own, etc. And then they also had a SharePoint based solution called Project Online, which worked well with the Project Desktop. Just like Excel, you could launch Project Desktop and make updates, and that would sync with the SharePoint Project Online solution. So again, and then Microsoft also has a separate product called Dynamics 365 Project Operations. That's the full suite, like where you can like generate quotes and raise invoices, entirely manage a company that is project based. Now, Planner Premium, called Project for the Web, is in essence a stripped down version of Dynamics 365 Project Operations. It still uses the same tables, etc. So it's more a licensed locked version of Dynamics 365 Project Operations. So essentially, Microsoft has leveraged or reused what they built for Dynamics 365 operations to also use for Project for the Web, right? So now they have a lot of these, applications, and they're losing customers in two places. A lot of customers don't want to upgrade, losing money. They don't want to upgrade from Planner to Project because Project costs money and Project is actually missing some features that Planner has. And a lot of the customers are not willing to invest in Dynamics 365 project operations. One is because it's very expensive, and two is you can still accomplish a lot of what you can do using D365 project operations using Project Online plus Project Desktop at a way, way cheaper price. So Microsoft had to come up with a strategy to try and sell more of Microsoft Project and to sell more of project operations. So they want to kind of kill the Planner app and they want to kill Project Online and Project Desktop. So now we see in our Ignite session recently, BRK287, they made this announcement saying Planner is evolving. We have these two plan types. They didn't admit they're two separate products. You can even hear some huffing and puffing by the announcer because he knows he's not being honest, and I feel like I could literally kind of hear the guilt when he's talking about it. But he says there are these two plan types called basic plans and premium plans, and we are merging these into two. Um, the real version of that is we have two separate products. We are deprecating one of the products, and we're just going to have just one product going forward, which is essentially Planner Premium, what we are calling Planner Premium. That's the only product that's going to be there, and we are probably going to have some level of free usage with some a feature limited version of Planner Premium, the same platform, to unlicensed users or seeded licensing from Microsoft 365. That's what this announcement really means. They were kind of slick or pretentious about how they made this announcement, but let's move on from that. Slide 23 says announcing a single plan type coming soon. So basically, the original Microsoft Planner, the Azure-based solution that was for simple use cases, that is being completely deprecated, and those use cases will also move to erstwhile Microsoft project, now being called Planner Premium, and Microsoft will migrate all of that data and provide basic plans within the same platform that hosts Planner Premium. So now essentially the real now in reality they can call it Planner Premium because they have deprecated the original Planner and bringing it to Planner Premium. So one of the things here is how does Microsoft approach the user complaints that they were missing features from Planner when they upgraded to Planner Premium. I would think they would build those loved features in Planner Premium. But instead, Microsoft chose to go the other direction and retire all the features that were unique to Planner Basic and that users loved. So that is this announcement here. It says retirement of several Microsoft Planner features as part of a Planner update. So essentially, because they are moving away from the original Planner into a feature limited version of Planner Premium, all the features that were unique to Planner, which users complained about that were missing if they upgraded, Microsoft is choosing to retire them. So now there's no one who's going to say, hey, the basic Planner, the unlicensed is better because it has XYZ features, because those features are simply going to be retired. One of them is a really handy feature called task comments that you would see. Now all you have is, and that was part of the database that was linked to the actual task record. Now you're just going to have a task chat experience, which is going to leverage Teams chat, and this data is not going to be part of your actual Planner database. But that's what it is, and all the features that were unique to Planner, the original Planner, they are all going to be deprecated because those features do not exist in the new platform where the data is being moved, and Microsoft isn't interested or keen to rebuild those features in this platform. So that's the announcement. Now, in addition, there's also this announcement about the SharePoint Online also being retired. The project online, which works on basis SharePoint Online that connects with Project Desktop, because of course we that would help users migrate to the more expensive Dynamics 365 project operation. So a lot of this, in my view, is all commercial, which will revenue based decisions, not so much a user improvement. Not these decisions don't, to me, seem grounded in user experience improvements. Now, this is the most disappointing announcement of all. So, in the retirement, they mentioned that because task comments is going away, we are going to replace it with a task chat experience to replace that. But now they've announced that there's going to be a new service plan to support the task-based chat. So essentially, they are saying you need to have a license. So for unlicensed users, the commenting functionality is going to go away. So Microsoft is really pushing people to pay for Planner Premium, and I think there'll be more and more of that. So essentially, if you use Planner without paying an add-on for that as just part of your Microsoft 365 license, you're going to feel strangled. Yeah, it's not good news. So you are either going to have to pay for it or look at some other options, which I will discuss as well. So what are our options? One is upgrading to planner premium is an option, and that is one official option I would recommend. Of course, the other solutions don't make sense, like the project server. It's expensive to set up, and you need to have your own hardware and servers for that, etc. So I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend Dynamics 365 project operations. That's a huge application and requires somewhere upwards of $100,000 in investment to get that all configured, license procured, etc. So if you have more than $100,000 in budget for that project and you need a more A to Z project management application, then you can consider Dynamics 365 project operations. But in case you do feel like you were just managing with planner and you wanted the functionality of connecting interdependent tasks, being able to project effort hours and all of that other typical project management capability, in that case planner premium is a decent option. Now, because this is also hosted in Dataverse, which is the Microsoft low code database, uh, you also have the ability to customize and do automations on that and whatnot. So planner premium is a really good option, but that will add costs, and every user will require at least a $10 license. And I think, looking at the direction, planner premium now allows for some minimal updates without a license. But looking at the way the direction Microsoft is going in, they might remove that, and it looks like they might force everyone to have a planner premium license in the coming months. So this would, at least at the basic tier of within planner premium, you have different licensing tiers, but the base license that gives access to some of the most important features is $10 a month. And then the planner P3, which gives you all the more advanced capabilities, is $30 a month. There's also a P5, which is $55 a month, which is really not required for most users. So planner premium is a good option if you felt like planner was limited in its capability, and you actually see the value in some of the advanced project management capabilities. Then of course planner premium is a viable option and you must consider that. And of course it's also the official Microsoft solution, so you'll get all the updates, and especially if you're invested in AI and all of that, a lot of the agentic capabilities are coming to planner premium, so that's where you should be. Now, now if you say I've always used planner without paying for a license and I don't want to spend additional $10 per user in for everyone, and I just need like simple task management capabilities. Now, SharePoint List is a great option. It's in fact better than your original planner. It allows commenting, it allows you to have your custom fields, etc. Now, the only thing with SharePoint List is you have to kind of do some work in setting it up, because it's customizable. So it's not an out of the box, just go start solution. You have to like define what are the fields in your tasks and what kind of notifications you want to receive, etc. There's an amazing tutorial on this subject by Therman Trotman. I will share a link in the comments. It's 1 hour and he really has covered everything. No gatekeeping. Shout out to Therman. He's amazing. So you can take a look at that, and you can pretty much continue using Planner for free by just rebuilding it using SharePoint lists. And if you need someone to actually do that for you, you can reach out to me, and we do consulting services, etc. So we can help migrate your planner into a SharePoint list, for a reasonable price. Otherwise, you can DIY by looking at by just following through Therman's tutorial. Now, if you are someone who wants the simple solution and you probably only want the ability to generate Gantt charts and define task interdependencies, but you don't want like a lot of the other capabilities of Planner Premium, There is a Gantt web part built by Jonathan Cardy of Automate 365. Now that's a tenant level license, so it's something like pay $700 a year, and then you just purchase that web part. So you can have like hundreds of users using that, and you have a decent project management solution that uses SharePoint lists as the underlying source. So the tutorial by Therman Trotman will get you started, and if you need to take that one step further, you can purchase the Gantt web part by Jonathan Cardy of Automate 365, and those are like very, very reasonably priced options. Now, if you do need some of the more advanced capabilities that Microsoft has retired as part of Project Online, and they are trying to push you towards the D365 um, project operation solution, and you don't have $100,000 to invest in Dynamics 365 and implement it and all of that. Um, but you still want some of those advanced capabilities to be able to do timesheets, to be able to do invoices, and to be able to generate some quotes based on effort, do some budget estimates, and all of that. Then you have two options, right? So you can start with Planner Premium, and you can engage a consultancy like ourselves to build the features that are missing in Planner Premium. So you may not use all of the features that Microsoft is offering in terms of Dynamics 365 project operations. You probably only need one or two more features. So we can start with installing Planner Premium, and then only the features that are missing in Planner Premium, you can pay someone to build it on your specific tenant. So we can build a customized version of Planner Premium because Planner Premium allows for customization. An even better option is Rapid Start Apps projects, because some of the most common things that the users ask for as customizations, like the ability to have a timesheet, the ability to define a budget, the ability to allocate a certain amount of hours, and then see how much of that has been logged in the timesheet and how many hours are still remaining, log expenses to projects and do some budgeting. All of that has been already pre-built in this Rapid Start Apps Projects tool, and this tool is built using the same platform as Planner Premium using Microsoft Dataverse. So this is a good alternative if you don't want to invest in something as expensive as Dynamics 365 operations. This only costs $10 per user, as opposed to 120 or $200 for the Dynamics 365 project operations. And you could also really get it customized and installed and all the implementation done at a fraction of the cost as well. So for an out of the box install and setup, it costs $2,000. But if you had like a bunch of customizations and automations that you want to run out of it, it can cost you somewhere under $10,000 to have everything done for you in Rapid Start Apps project. So it's a tenth of the price, and would have almost everything that you would, or at least to a great extent of um, the most common things that people would want were using as part of Project Online. And of course, a third-party solution which has like even more capabilities is called Projectum PPM. But at this point, it kind of is also a complex tool with implementation costs and licensing costs that can get you close enough to Dynamics 365 project operations. So yeah, at this point, you're kind of comparing expensive tools with other expensive tools. But the top four are my favorites. Especially Rapid Start Apps projects is my real favorite because that kind of gets you, in the Dataverse. It gives you the same access as the Microsoft Copilot agents. All of that is available in Rapid Start Apps projects. And it's fully automatable, customizable, and you get a good kickstart, and it has some of the most asked add-ons to Planner Premium. So if someone starts with Planner Premium and asks for all the features that are already in Rapid Start Apps project. To build that in Planner Premium, it will be at least a $20,000 worth of development projects. So you kind of get that amount of value for free when you get started with the Rapid Start Apps project, and then you spend like 5 to 10 grand on top of that, and you can really have something absolutely custom to your needs. So those are our options with all these changes that Microsoft is doing. One of the official option is to embrace Planner Premium, but then this comes with a price, and then cost sensitive options for simplistic implementations. The cheapest is SharePoint Lists, um, and you can learn how to set that up yourself, or you can hire someone like me to set it up for you. And there's a tutorial as well to do that yourself. And then, if you just need to take it one notch up from what you have in SharePoint Lists, you can spend a little bit more money, buy the web part from Automate 365. But if you want to take it up like really um, customized for your organization, but you don't want to foot $100,000 bill and have somewhat of an in-between solution, then of course you have Rapid Start Apps projects. And if you have really big money and you have really complex requirements, you're looking to spend $50,000 to $100,000, then Project PPM is an option. And this is also based on the Microsoft Dataverse, and is sitting within the security of your Microsoft 365. I haven't mentioned any of the external options outside of the Microsoft 365 space here. Of course, there are other products in the market. You have ClickUp, Asana, but then it's outside of your Microsoft 365 security boundary. There's also Frappe ERP Next that has a project module, and that's an open source application. There's really no license. You can have unlimited users and just pay for hosting your server. So that's like a super cheap and super customizable option as well. If you're exploring outside of the Microsoft 365 world, then I would highly recommend looking at Frappe ERP Next. It's an enterprise, I mean, it's an end-to-end ERP solution. So you can essentially achieve what you can achieve using Dynamics 365 project operations at a fraction of the cost. And not just a fraction of implementation cost, but also a fraction of licensing cost, because there is no licensing cost. You just have to pay for your servers that run this tool. It's a pay for compute model. So you could look at that option if you're open to exploring options outside of Microsoft 365. So hopefully this video helps you understand all of the options that you have to manage your transition while Microsoft is making these changes to try and push people towards paying for task management as opposed to it being included with the Microsoft 365 license. One thing that I can almost guarantee is the SharePoint lists are always going to be free. That's an integral part of the Microsoft 365 base product, and I don't see, at least in the next 5 years, where Microsoft is going to charge you to store data in a SharePoint list. So that's our best low cost alternative to what Planner Basic was. As Planner Basic as we know it is kind of being buried to make way um, or to encourage people to actually pay for the solution. So yeah, I think I covered everything. And of course, if I spoke too fast or if it didn't make sense, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you guys for watching. Have a lovely day.